Hello to everyone, another exciting episode of Match Point by Dr. Adnan. Dr. Adnan आपको एक दफ़ा फिर cricket stadium से खुश आमदीद कहता है. Today our topic will not be the cricket match. We are gonna do something very special. We will discuss the international cricket, we will discuss the local cricket of Asia, and we will discuss the local cricket of and the prospects in the North American zone, especially USA and Canada. So, I'm not alone in this discussion. Today, I'm having someone very dear to us and some of the very dear guests is along with me. But before going to the guest, I may remind you that lot of listeners on my radio show on the weekend, on Saturday, in the Match Point by Dr. Adnan, and they are too much nostalgic about Sunil Gavaskar, Imran Khan, Wasim Akram, and those golden days of Pakistan cricket. And daily I was receiving the call, instead of a match going on right now, the Zimbabwe, Pakistan and Australia, the tri-series or the other matches, they are discussing and they want to discuss the old matches when so proving once again that old is gold. And similarly, lot of our Punjabi listeners, and they are calling us, they are quite nostalgic about the Team India and their efforts and the era of the 1983 when Team India became the first Asian team to win the World Cup and grab from the Kali Andi of West Indies. Those were the days to remember, those were the days to cherish. So, we should have someone from those days to cherish the memories of those golden days of cricket. So, along with me, I want to welcome my guest. My guest is having a lot of, in the past, showing the lot of responsibilities on his shoulder. गहरा संबंध है इनका क्रिकेट से. Deeply involved in the cricket. He is himself a first-class cricketer. He used to play first-class cricket back in India. भारत में ये खुद भी खेलते रहे हैं. टीम इंडिया के साथ इन्होंने बेहतरीन और बेशुमार मैनेजमेंट के फ़राइज़ सर अंजाम दिए हैं. He was the previous manager of the Team India. He was the venue manager of the 2011 Cricket World Cup, which was won by India in the home. Those who are the Indian our followers and Indian listeners and viewers, they are knowing very well about that very World Cup and the signature mark of Dhoni with a straight six. My guest was at least holding 6 to 7 venues at his pocket, and he was the sole performer who was performing as a venue manager in that World Cup. He was the media manager also for the Team India. He was the media manager and he is the media manager of the Vidarbha Nagpur team, which is currently the Ranji champion also and performing very well. We will talk about Yadev and lot of different boys who rose from the special place. So we are having with us Rajan Nair ji. Good evening, Rajan Nair ji.
It's a pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, same is there, Rajan Nair ji. First of all, I welcome you to the Match Point, and how you are feeling in North America.
Well, it is a fantastic new venue to be happy here and to find cricket taking additional roots here where the North Americans will be exposed to the quality cricket from quality players at a new good venue.
So, Rajan ji, now you are working so experiencedly in India and all around the world, in Dubai, Abu Dhabi. So, how you got the difference in this very part of the world, which is not yet so much experienced to receive the international cricket? This is the first ever international cricket going on this level in North America. So, what do you think? How much they are lagging behind the international venues?
Well, this is the first time G20 Cricket League is being played. A few years back, India and Pakistan played here, the famous Sahara Cup. Since then, there was no cricket. But during the 2011 World Cup, Canadian cricket team played at Nagpur, one of the venues, and they showed lot of intent, lot of encouragement, and they wanted to develop, promote the game in Northern America. Discussions were held with their Honorable President Ranjit Saini playing a major role in getting things back to Canada, and it's his vision and dream that he could manage to get the ICC clearance for this tournament. And well, we are here today watching the top stars of international cricket coming here and playing at a new venue, which will provide not only encouragement to the local people in Northern America, but also provide just the right impetus for the game to move across to USA, where there is a lot of cricket at the moment in the league stage going on, and West Indies being geographically well connected Caribbean islands to North America as well as to Canada. This will bring a lot of West Indian cricketers to come here, show their skill, show their talent, and also help the Canadian Cricket Board and the Canadian organization and the Canadian public to see some quality cricket and develop, promote their game in times to come.
Yes. Rajan ji, when we are discussing about the cricket, as the international cricket, as we are discussing, so why not, I want to tell my viewers, as we are discussing usually in our media room, in the balcony, where when we are free, we are gossiping about the international cricket. The international cricket we have seen now in our 80s, in the days of my childhood and your peak days. Mashallah, you are still having the peak days, but those days when you were in the India and the Indian superstars and the legends with you in those days, we were seeing that India, Pakistan, Australia, especially Australia was the underdogs in those days, and the New Zealand, even the individual brilliance was there, Sir Richard Headley and the Alan Border from the Australia. But as the team wise, West Indies was the team in those days which were dominating those days in every format of cricket, and there was only two formats, one day cricket and the test cricket. And then we were discussing that there became the shift of the power. So just what are your views for this shift of the power? In those days, if someone would be telling me that these teams are playing, Australia is doing like this, playing the scientific cricket, winning the 3 World Cups later on, I would not have been believing in those days if you will tell me this story in 1983, when Keem Hughes was beaten, taken by surprise by the Zimbabwean team in the 1983 World Cup. So what is this shift of power and how this happened and how you are seeing the international cricket and where it is going?
Well, the West Indians dominated cricket in the mid-70s. Prior to that, Australia dominated, and there was always West Indies and Australia domination in the world cricket. If you look back, right up to 83 or up to 90, but suddenly India emerged as one of the top powers, winning the 83 World Cup. This changed the entire complexion of the game in Asia. If you look later, apart from Australia and West Indies winning the World Cup, ever since India won the World Cup, very soon it was Pakistan's turn to win the World Cup, followed by Sri Lanka. The Asians started dominating the game. However, in the bilateral series and other things, Australia held on to their top position, while the West Indies cricket, after the Richard, Lloyd, Roberts holding era started to come down. That was the time when the Asian cricket started going up, along with Australia and England also. Joined by South Africans, their teams started doing exceptionally well. It is unfortunate that South Africa is yet to win a major ICC title, while 3 Asian nations have already won it. And the recent shift, you can see the West Indians, who were lagging behind in one-day cricket or test cricket, have emerged as a new superpower in T20 cricket, winning the last World T20 Championship and followed by the other major titles in T20. So there is definitely a shift, and India has emerged as the top test playing nation, while Australia and West Indies have certainly gone down in test cricket. But one can see that England, which was not doing so well in one-day cricket, is now the number one one-day side, and West Indies is T20 number 1. So you can see that how cricket has staggered, and it is no more one-team domination in world cricket today.
Yes, and Rajan ji, we have seen that the West Indian team suddenly performing very well, as you discussed right now. We saw their power in the T20, we saw their power, how they were dominating India. As I was telling today in my program, that how they demolished India in their home, and then the English team, Ben Stokes, and then Pakistan, they were beating eventually all the giants, Australia. So West Indian team, why is like this? They are struggling in the test, but not in the very shortest format of the cricket. In this tournament also, Cricket B West Indies is the phenomenally declared as a giant killer. We were not expecting, but as a team how they are playing, and lot of players are even still not playing for the Caribbean Premier League, and still they are beating the other giants, and of course they are playing exceptionally well, and the huge targets they are making the mockery of them, beating by the 8 wickets, beating by 9 wickets. But if you go apart from there to the test cricket, they are struggling very bad. Even in the ODI cricket, at one time there was a danger that they have to qualify along with Pakistan, but eventually Pakistan beating them, and then they had to play the qualifying rounds to qualify for the World Cup. Who would have thought in 1975 and 79 that the Clive Lloyd West Indies team will be playing the qualifying round to qualify to play for the World Cup? So where are you seeing them in the ODI and especially in the test? Right now they are playing exceptionally good. Right now they have made them out Bangladesh on the 43. New records are tumbling. But overall, if you see India, Virat Kohli's India has demolished them in the last 2 years. 2016 winning on the trot, and then Pakistan beating them in the home and in the away in the Sharjah and Dubai, the alternate homes. So in the test where West Indies, you are looking the West Indian team in the longer format of the cricket.
Well, it is a transformation stage. Even they were not doing well in one day and T20 till recently. The last 2 years their T20 has started developing very well. Boys in the West Indies have started to realize the importance of playing quality cricket. It has been a long time since their team has done well. Recently, after their T20 performance, even their test performance, as you rightly mentioned, yesterday they shot out Bangladesh for the poorest total of 43, and they made over 300 runs.
Right.
And look, it takes time. The system has to be developed. West Indies cricket was at the top for so long time that probably one of the reasons is complacency. And I feel that look at Afghanistan. Did anybody believe that Afghanistan would ever play test cricket? They played a one-off test in India recently. That's the development of the game by the ICC. Afghanistan one-day bowler has absolutely brilliant.
Rashid Khan.
Rashid Khan is an outstanding talent, and his bowling even in the test matches, though India is number 1, Afghanistan is probably the new entrant, and you could see their bowling attack was definitely good, and they need to be patient. They need to have a lot of balance in power as far as batting. Same applies to West Indies, because West Indies had legends in the past. They need to create more legends, and they are in the making. By what I have seen here during the T20 Canada League, that lot of promising talent is there.
Yesterday we saw Najib Zardan playing a very good knock.
Here you watch the victory margin of the West Indies B team is phenomenally high, because they are batting today with Greaves making 89 not out and Brendan King making 44. This amply justifies that they are willing to stay at the wicket, and yes, hopefully we can look for some more matured innings, first in the one day and progressively in test cricket. I feel they have the raw talent now emerging, and their superstars helping them, and we look forward that the old West Indian aura should once again beginning in the very short time to come, maybe in a couple of years.
Yes, Rajan ji is very right that why not that same West Indian era could have been coming back, as right now the things are progressing in the international cricket, and he's very right. In the same tournament, if we look upon in the 3 wins, one day Trinidadian worked out, the other day the Jamaican worked out, and the third day the Barbadian worked out. So still they are under the one flag, West Indies flag, and from the different state, one guy is working from the Jamaica, one from the Barbadian, but they are all gathered for the one pride flag of the cricket West Indies. I know you will be just waiting eagerly that we may ignite the memories, and we will, but we have to take a short break over here. After a short commercial break, when we will come back along with the Rajan ji, don't go away, we will ignite some memories of the flashbacks of the 80s and of course 90s. Stay tuned, you are watching Match Point by Dr. Adnan. Welcome back on the Match Point. You are with Dr. Adnan, and this exclusive footage is for E-Awaz Match Point by Dr. Adnan. And as I told you, who have joined the television right now, I may introduce you once again that today on the Match Point, I'm not alone, but our very respectable guest, Rajan, Nair ji, along with me, who is the former Team India manager, Nagpur team manager, World Cup 2011 venue manager, and lot of cricketing efforts on his credit, and the development which is going in the North America is already he's along with that team for the cricket perspective. So coming back to the point after the break where we left out, I just want to start from there, that as I told you in my beginning shows over there on the E-Awaz in the Match Point, when I gave you the intro of Global T20. So I told you at that time the Mercury Group is the one who is the think tank for this Global T20, and they are having the 25 years contract for the progression and the prosperity of cricket in this very zone. So we will be knowing the views of Rajan ji on this very, who is the management, what are the criterias, and how you are looking, how it will be shaping up in the next 25 years or upcoming years, or will it be possible, as we are seeing the audience problems, the working issues problem, as here the working market, people are not that much available, they want to come in the afternoons. But especially nowadays it has been shifted back to the early in the 11 o'clock, so that to grab more audience in the Pakistan, India and the subcontinent. So where are these things going on, and what is in the benefit of the cricket? And tell us about this Mercury Group and the about this league and its about its future.
Well, as far as Cricket Canada, in joint collaboration with Mercury Group, has a vision for 25 years. And they have began their campaign in the right earnest in North America, where cricket needs to be really boosted up. The very sheer presence of top-class international players in this very inaugural year of its tournament is a significant development for both Cricket Canada as well as for Mercury Group. The group by itself has decided to come up in a very, very big way, and wholehearted attempt is being made in their inaugural year to develop and promote the game not only in Canada but in whole of North America. Well, there are some initial teething problems. Well, we can understand that this is a 25-year concept with a lot of vision behind it, and a lot of effort is being put in. Well, any new venture has its own issues right at the beginning, but let me tell you, there is a big heart, a big soul going into this entire tournament, and there are people who are experts in their respective fields have all been amalgamated here to ensure that there is every possible smoothness to conduct this event in such a short notice. My kudos to both the group, the Canada Cricket Association as well as the Mercury Group, that in such a short time they are able to put up such a brave attempt and effort in a place where cricket was never a very serious sport. We can understand that ice hockey, soccer, football, basketball, etc. are the premier games here. And look, we are today playing on this very ground where few years back, except the local leagues, no international teams would come and play. ICC also needs to be complimented for their excellent effort in allowing Canada cricket to boost this great game of cricket all across this part of the world.
Rajan ji, one more thing I want to ask you about the Team India. We are seeing lot of cricket now, PSL, Pakistan Super League, across the other part of the globe, Canadian cricket, Global T20, and then the Big Bash, and we have heard that Sri Lankan cricket is also jumping, BPL, Bangladesh Premier League, but the Indian cricketers are not going anywhere in the world except IPL. They are focusing only with the Team India and with IPL. A part of this, that some of the times the only possibility where Indian player is sneaking on, Chideshwar Pujara we have seen, Kohli we have seen, they are sneaking to the English county. Otherwise, they are not going outside India. I just want you to elaborate this, that when, because lot of Indians are over here and they are expecting and they were expecting, and they are unable to see their dream stars and their dream bowlers and the dream batters, especially Virat Kohli and lot of big names from the India, they are not participating in any league, and you are knowing that whole of the world is full with a bunch of Indians. Today, if we see in the cricket, anywhere it's been played, whether it is in North America, whether in Dubai, Indian followers and the Indian crowd will be the most of all in the grounds. So how you are seeing this point?
Well, this is a policy decision of the BCCI. I would like to tell you one thing, that the FTP program has been finalized at least a couple of years back, where Indians are the most sought after team because of their status in the Test cricket. Look at the time when now Global T20 League is being played here. How can you expect the Indian team to come here and members of the Indian team to come and play when they are busy playing cricket in England? Similarly, when the other tournaments are also on, if you look back and check the records, you will find that the Indian team has been preoccupied with the bilateral series.
But Rajanji, Pakistan is also playing with Australia and Zimbabwe. But the players who are not active right now at the moment, they still can come. For example, if Cheteshwar Pujara is not playing the ODIs and T20, he could have been a part of the team. He could have been sold out to any team. Pakistani players at Benton Royals are full of the Pakistani players. So a lot of players, it is still possible. Pakistan is playing, and Hafiz had to go back. Hafiz went back. But still we are seeing a lot of Pakistani stars, and fans are having the opportunity. Cricket West Indies is busy over there. You are seeing Darren Sammy, Chris Gale, the biggest names. The showdown is here.
Well, if you look back at Indian cricket calendar just now, you will be surprised to note that even today, Indian A team is busy playing in West Indies, and they also have about 20 cricketers playing there. There's another team under 19 which is now working to go to another venue for their third. So imagine 50 players of current and youngsters and maybe a little elder ones are all busy playing across the globe. So the official program cannot be changed, number one. There is a policy of the organization which needs to be adhered to, and even in India at the moment the Tamil Nadu Premier League is going on. So you can imagine that so many players representing, and well, cricket is a sport where people will always prefer to play for the country first and then the clubs. So as far as India is concerned, there is a system which we are following. Look at the West Indies cricket. Even West Indies, you rightly said that they are playing, but the number of the West Indian boys who are playing here is far different than the number of boys playing for India in their A League in West Indies. And same thing with the Indian boys playing in Tamil Nadu Premier League. So there is no lack of opportunity. It is for the players to decide where to play, and also the policy decision needs to be adhered to. And I think there is nothing wrong in choosing what they want to play.
So Rajanji, now this is for the international cricket what we are discussing all about, but I think, as I told in the beginning, our followers and the one who are following our television, they want something the world from your mouth, those memories which you have seen with your eyes in the dressing rooms, on the grounds, in the era of Kapil Dev, in the era of Sunil Gavaskar. So let's gonna go to the flashback. Yes, so coming back to the match point on the flashback, we are having our respectable guest, Rajan Nair ji. And Rajan Nair was the prominent member of the Team India back in the past, and still he is the member of the Nagpur Association and the team, as I told you in the beginning. So we will just start from the late 70s and early 80s. Rajanji, first of all, your favorite spinner, as we were discussing in the media box 2 days back, whom you have been inspired, as India and Pakistan are rich of spinners, and this is the this is a point, and this is the part of the cricket which was originated by us, and we are having the specialty on both ends. Big players we have seen: Bishan Singh Bedi, Saklan Mushtaq, Abdul Qadir, the combo of leg spinners, combo of off spinners, Tosif we have seen, and so Raju, and lot of names which are coming, the faces are coming, and I'm unable to recall them, so many names. What you will say about that, the memories of the spinners?
Well, the famous Indian quadrille, that is Irapalli Prasanna, Bishan Singh Bedi, Venkat Raghavan and Bhagwat Chandrasekhar.
Yes.
I think they are incomparable. let us not even compare them with anybody.
Correct.
Now coming back to Pakistan, you see Abdul Qadir. Even today, the memories are green, the way he is to run up to bowl. Shakleen Mushtaq, the man who really we adore, that on a wicket in Sharjah where ball wouldn't spin a quarter of a centimeter, Shakleen could do that. That was Shakleen Mushtaq. Then we had famous leg spinner Mushi. We know him very popularly. Well, I was privileged to see him as early as just 2 years back in Raipur, where he was playing. He was the coach of one of the teams in the IPL, and we were fortunate to see them really bowl somewhere in the nets, and the youngsters could gain a lot. And then one more player whom I seen as a young, very small boy, that was none else than the famous Intikhab Alam.
Oh yes, 1960.
Yes, I was a kid, and Intikhab Alam ji, I could see him, and now today when I see him, he's bald, and that time he had a lot of mop of hair on his head. And Mushtaq Mohammad was another great leg spinner come batsman. Well, he was a great pal of Bishan Singh Bedi, and well, who can forget the other names in Pakistan cricket, Zahir Abbas, Wasim Akram, and on the Indian side, people like G.R. Vishwanath, Dilip Vengsarkar, the great Sunny Gavaskar.
We will come slowly by slowly to them. First of all, I just want to the series of 1978 when India came to Pakistan.
Yes.
When they visited Lahore and the peak of Zahir Abbas, just we want the memories of those games, because you were watching those games very closely in those days.
Well, I was not exactly in Pakistan. What I could see on television, Pakistan had a very dominant series then, with the great Imran Khan at his fiery best. And well, they dominated the series, and well, it was a series where a lot of goodwill was created.
Yep.
And that's the bottom line. Cricket was also played, but the series was dominated by a lot of diplomacy.
And then later on, Pakistan going to the India, and then it was the India's turn to demolish Pakistan. Asif Iqbal was the one. So a wonderful payback visit. And then first of all, Pakistan beat India, and when Pakistan reached over there, Pakistan was beaten over there in India. And then later on, if you remember the 80s series, that was the most famous series in the 80s when India travelled to Pakistan, and that swinging deliveries to the Vishwanath when he left the ball of Imran, and it was about more than the centimeters it came inside, and India lost the match in the Karachi. And later on also they played the ODI series. So tell us about that series also, if you have any memories for that.
Well, I have some faint memories of that series. Definitely Imran was at his super best.
Correct.
And his Yorkers and his swinging in-dippers were virtually unplayable. Some of the great legends of the game have recalled those spells, including Sunny Gavaskar and others. And well, people like Vichy had seen something different that series. And that's it. I mean, it was beyond expression. It was one of the all-time performances from not only Imran but from the Pakistan team. And
then Rajan ji, as a payback visit, I think that was the last memories which I remember in my childhood. There were the series later on, but in the 80s, the last series which were played before the Reliance Cup 1987, Pakistan went to the India. And in the test matches, there were 5 matches, and the matches were drawn. All the matches were the single-sided, and the one time I still remember that the pitch was dug out, and there was no match for the 2 days or something. Match was cancelled. But in the Bangalore match, that was the match to watch. Pakistan winning that by the 16 runs by the virtue of Iqbal Qasim and Tosif. Sunil Gavaskar, despite of losing the game, Sunil Gavaskar ji was the man of the match. Was making, I think in the 90s he scored. And some of the catches, there was a lot of dispute in the catches. Ram Babu Gupta was there, and the other umpire, I forgot the name, Ram Babu Gupta was there. So ultimately he was trapped out by the Slim Yusuf, and the Roger Binney was the last one. Do you remember that match?
I can remember that game for 2 reasons. One of which was, it was one of the finest cricketing moments which I had seen on a cricket ground.
Wow.
The number 2 was the way Sunil Manohar Gavaskar batted. There cannot be any other coaching manual which can describe how to face the art of spin bowling on a turning track, and it was sheer joy to watch this great man show all qualities of batsmanship and test match batting skill which is required to be followed in modern day cricket, that how to face spin bowling. Sunny Gavaskar was an epitome of super brilliance, and I can assure you, I will always suggest youngsters to watch that innings to improve their skill on how to face spin bowling.
And after that, Imran said that he's the best defense against.
Yes, Imran Khan, after he got 200s in Karachi Test, also mentioned that it is Sunil Gavaskar's defense which cannot be broken.
Yes, and he told, I remember in those days, Imran said, best defense against me was Sunil Gavaskar and best attack against me was Viv Richards in those days.
Well, Viv Richards is ultimately the supremo the master. He knew how to farm the bowling. He was a man possessed, and the way he used to walk onto the wicket was just an ample testimony of his not only huge batting talent but also the explosiveness with which he brought cricket alive in all across the globe.
So right now it's a time to take a short break. When we will come back, lastly we will go to the last segment and we will come to the 1992 World Cup, 1987 World Cup we will discuss, when one of the darlings of the World Cup, India and Pakistan, lost in the semi-finals and the traditional rivals reached the finals. We will ignite those memories. Stay tuned to the E-Awaz. You are watching Match Point by Dr. Adnan. Welcome back. You are watching Match Point by Dr. Adnan and we are discussing something nostalgic and we say it flashbacks, and I am having with me my guest Rajan Nair ji, and you are seeing these feeds exclusively on E-Awaz. So Rajan ji, we were on the 1987 World Cup, so quickly we will progress forward. But the 1987 World Cup, I remember the Reliance Cup, the first time at that time there was a nara, cricket comes home, and really cricket came back home, and India and Pakistan were playing first time the World Cup back in their dens and back in their homes. Pakistan was in the pool A, India was in the pool B. India have to play all matches in India and Pakistan have to play all matches in Pakistan. Pakistan winning all the matches in the pool except the last one which they lost to the West Indies, and India won all the matches in their pool except the opening match when Maninder Singh was bowled by Stephen Waugh in the very first game, and India became the only team at that time in the history of cricket to be beaten in the World Cup by 1 run. Although that this fate was later on repeated and the records are meant to be broken, but again 1992 Australia beat India historically again by the 1 run. This is just a coincidence, but anyways India was brilliant in the one match. I remember it was the condition like this, that India, if not have to finish the New Zealand runs in the 30 overs, India had to go to Lahore. So to avoid that, Sunil Gavaskar made his only 100 of the ODI cricket in that match to avoid playing in Lahore, to avoid playing Pakistan-India semi-final. So what happened? Pakistan played to the underdogs, at that time the underdogs Australia, the Allen Borders and Dean Jones Australia, and India had to play in Bombay versus Mike Getting and Alan Lamb's England. And what happened? Both of them lost in their homes and lot of crying fans. I still remember those agonizing moments for India and Pakistan, and it was all traditional English Ashes final in Calcutta where Australia, Allen Borders Australia, beat England by the 7 margin, which is the shortest margin of victory in the history of cricket. Rajan ji, some words from the Calcutta. What happened in Calcutta and those days of 1987?
Well, with both India and Pakistan out, there was a lot of steam out of the tournament. However, coming back to cricket, well, Calcutta is known for its absolutely brilliant crowd, a lack of people watching the Reliance Cup final at the Eden Gardens. What a brilliant sight it was.
Above 1 lakh, I think.
Yes.
And that is the maximum attendance so far up to my knowledge in the history of cricket.
And it was really a joy to watch the game in the closing stages as Australia pipped England by 7 runs, and Alan Border running around Eden Gardens with the trophy in his hand. A sight to just behold.
Yes, and later on the 1992 World Cup came, Rajan ji. Were you expecting at that time, along with Sunil Gavaskar ji, that Pakistan will be able to win? You remember Sunil Gavaskar right from the beginning was saying that Pakistan will win this World Cup. And in those days on the Star Sports he used to say, and ultimately Pakistan lifting against all odds.
Yes. Well, who can forget those two great deliveries?
Of Wasim Akram.
Wasim Akram. For me, that was the turning point of the match.
Correct.
Alan Lamb and Ian Botham.
Ian Botham. And later on Lewis been cleaned up.
Chris Lewis. And so after those eras, now if we go forward, I think we will now proceed to the 2000 and then further. Now the important point comes, since my childhood when I was seeing cricket, when you were with the Indian team, Pakistan was dominating in the cricket field. Pakistan was single-handedly demolishing India everywhere except World Cups. World Cups meetings started in 1992 and eventually still up to the date Pakistan has been never able to beat Team India in any format of the World Cups, whether the shortest format, whether the longer formats. But we have seen the Pakistan's dominance over the India. But then suddenly the globe changed, the story changed. The young lads came, Sunil ji went, Kapil Dev went, lot of other guys went, and Sourav Ganguly was inducted in the team. The Calcutta Tiger, Rahul Dravid, and these bunch of guys came, Lakshman came, and then the time came when India started dominating Pakistan. Your vision about this turning point of India? India was never having a habit of winning outside India, but then the habit was created. Sourav Ganguly have put something, the spirit in the Indian team, that Indian team was back on the winning track. Not only in the India and their den, but outside. Even a part of the Pakistan, if I forget Pakistan, everywhere where they were going to the England, they were putting the winning notes. And ultimately, they were unfortunate that in the 2003, they lost the final. But he was the one who laid the foundation of 2011 Cricket World Cup winning. Yes, Rajan ji. Well, coming back to that period, Indian cricket had a phenomenal rise in success. It was thanks to some brilliant planning. Yes, Sourav Ganguly was one of the pioneers of that. We had Sachin Tendulkar doing great Yemen service to Indian cricket, followed by one name who changed the concept of brilliant opening batting in the form of Virendra Sehwag. Can you believe it? In Multan he thrashed 300 plus.
2004.
You can imagine 300 plus by an Indian opener. And well, who can forget all other double hundreds again in Pakistan as well as in other parts of the world that set the tone, as well as with people like Lakshmipati Balaji dominating in 2004 in Pakistan, where his bowling really brought lot of ruptures all across Lahore when I was physically present there. Sourav Ganguly, Rahul Dravid, VVS Lakshman, Sachin Tendulkar, Virendra Sehwag, they are the names who really brought Indian cricket to the fore. And you can see, you can also compliment the BCCI for having an excellent system in operation, which really brought forth a lot of youngsters. Look at the way even Dhoni prospered in that series progressively. And today Dhoni is still around and is battling it out with all youngsters. And we are very proud to tell you that the system of operation is the key to the success from that era till date, when you have seen a new Virat Kohli emerging and the new fitness mantra and regimentation being followed by the Indian cricketers.
Yes, Rajan ji was the part of the officials in that tour in the 2004 when the Team India came to Pakistan, and I was also the part of the broadcast squad, and I have witnessed that series with my eyes, and that is the only time in the history of cricket when Team India was able to beat Pakistan back in our den. Otherwise, Team India never able to beat Pakistan in Pakistan. So this was the times when excellent, magnificent innings was seen in Multan, and later on the match was switched in their favor in the Rawalpindi, the last match, and India took the series. Balaji became the overnight hero for the India, and obviously that was the start of the era when the wicketkeeper Dhoni name was established, and later on he became the captain of the Indian team, and then rest is history. What are his cherishable moments with the Indian team? So Rajanji, what do you believe that in those eras, and if I go a little bit before that, Team India refused to play Pakistan in Sharjah. Sharjah was the one venue where we were enjoying cricket, where most of 90% of the domination is of the Indian population. The crowds are not empty. Single seat you can't find when there is an India-Pakistan match. Crowd was exciting, the match was thrilling, and the government wanted that match, and lot of money was generated for the ICC and for the favor of cricket. And we have seen they were also giving the benefits to the older players, Kirmani and those Asif Iqbal, and they were in the board members, and lot of things were given to the benefits were given to the older players. Why Sharjah series was stopped, and why India never wanted to play in the Sharjah? Was it like this, that they were losing to Pakistan? The losing streaks were that much? Some were saying that India don't want to lose in Sharjah. Some were saying that the match has been played, match has been fixed. The most controversial hat-tricks were there. When Aqib Javed made the hat-trick, they said that was not out. We were not having the privilege of DNS system and the electronic umpires. So what is your vision about the Sharjah matches and the neutral soil matches between Pakistan and India?
Well, there was nothing much to add here. The part which there was no actual refusal. Well, there has to be some system in operation where the matches have to be played. If there is an element of doubt anywhere, for anybody, for any team, why only India, Pakistan? Why others did not play there? It was not the question of just anything which a lot of people thought about it. Unfortunately, the series could not take place due to varying circumstances, due to varying reasons, which I am afraid I will not be able to explain here. But the fact of the matter is that as Sharjah, there were a lot of problems, maybe internal problems or maybe some other reasons, which I am afraid I am unable to explain to you at this moment. But the fact of the matter is that just the series could not progress any further. And that's it. And well, it was not only Sharjah, even other venues were also, there was a lot of allegations made by so many people. But then those allegations need to be looked into. You can't just ignore the fact. And India was one of the top powerhouses. They tried to compensate with some other teams playing in Sharjah. But then also that withered away. And look, after that, what happened? Even today, the matches are being played in Dubai. If that was the reason, then why today Dubai is being played? So there was nothing against anybody. It was just a coincidence that everything did not just click and it was not played. And the board also did not want to play when there is a lot of uncertainty over so many issues.
Yeah, because two major venues were closed, and the Sahara Cup venue was closed, and the Sharjah Cup venue was closed. Two venues were closed. And Rajanji,
and it is for the ICC to decide how to look into that aspect.
And now, what about the current scenario when BCCI and PCB, we have heard that Najam Sethi Saab went to the Indian officials came over there, he met with the ICC, and they wanted that Pakistan and India should have been playing bilaterally for the further 10 years, 15 years contract. So where is that story? Do you have any vision on that story?
Well, it is very simple and straight.
We will be able to play with each other?
Well, it is very simple and straight. It's for the government of India to decide whether we should play or not. Cricket is a sport. Leave it at the sport.
Correct.
Let us not debate further on this issue because sport is being played by sportsmen. India is participating in all the ICC events at various neutral venues. As long as government of India doesn't grant us any permission, no series can take place. It's very plain and simple.
Okay.
It's a government decision.
About the memories when we were talking, the last memory which came to my mind, Rajanji, when the six was made in the Sharjah, where were you? And what were those days when six? Because right now, until today's date, there is not a single tournament in which on the six, one team has won the tournament on the last ball. Last ball, six have come, but the last ball, tournament has never gone. Do you remember that match and the greatest of all, the golden match between the arch rivals?
Yes, I remember it. It was very heartbreaking for one side, and the other side it was joyous occasion. And well, who can forget Rajesh Chauhan's six against Pakistan? But the only difference was that this was in Sharjah, so it got a lot of mileage. The other was not available to be shot. But cricket is a game where one could see and look at all the angles and possibly all the occasions, and one can cherish the memory as it suits each one's convenience.
Yes. Very good. So at the end, Rajanji, thank you so much. We are still having some dying moments with me in the program. So tell us something about the Pakistan cricket team, how you are looking, some suggestions and something, how Pakistan is playing the Champions Trophy match. Why don't we come to the recent one when we were not expecting they will be thrashing Team India like this, coming like a underdogs, thrashed by Team India in the initial match, and there was an agony all around the country, and Pakistanis were so die-hard and they were angry on their team, and then sudden jak rut badli. Here also there is a change of ruth and clouds are coming like this. Pakistan team turned around, and then Pakistan team did what the cricket West Indies B is doing right now here. So Rajanji, what about the Champions Trophy? Your last words, how you saw that Pakistan's drift?
Well, that's exactly what I said. Cricket is a game of uncertainty. Can anybody guarantee anybody's victory? On that day, it was your fast bowling which dented India's hopes of winning. Well, the odds were much against Pakistan. Compliments to them for outstanding performance on that given day. Consistently, India has been beating them. Fortunately, that day it was Pakistan's day. I really appreciate the way they bowled rather than they batted. Indians had a down day that day. And well, it's cricket. It's a game of glorious uncertainty. And let's look forward for more matches, more interaction. And Pakistan has a young, youthful brigade. And they are showing signs of developing after a long time of hibernation where they were down in the dumps, and now one Champions Trophy has lifted their morale, and hopefully we look forward for some more serious matches in the times to come, which will once again prove that which is the better side.
Rajanji, over the decades we have seen that the depth in the Indian batting is never ending. Depth in the Pakistan bowling is never ending. But so good, not so good for the Team India that in recently we have seen Bhuvi, the other bowlers, Jasprit Bumrah, who is throwing Yorkers at his will whenever he wants. This is not the promising sign. After Kapil Dev, there was a long gap. Team India is still the most solid batting lineup, but seeing these youngsters is not a very good sign for the captain like Virat Kohli when his bowlers are performing like this, and he's having in the back in the home Jasprit Bumrah and these Bhuvi and these kind of bowlers.
Well, yes, I told you that the system is now in operation. Wonderful system by the BCCI. And look at the way Indians have been playing during the last 2-3 years. Be it in West Indies, be it in Australia. Now see, day before yesterday in T20 game, Kuldeep Yadav skittled England out after they were 91 for 2 to 157. And Lokesh Rahul blasted 100. And we won by 9 wickets. This is how the team, it's a consolidation process. It's a team combination, and Virat Kohli has been able to stitch together a team which has youth, which has experience in the form of Dhoni, and which has some fast bowlers, in which a lot of people were questioning India's ability to bowl fast. And look at Jasprit Bumrah, look at Bhuvi, look at Umesh Yadav, look at the fast bowler, tall, lanky from Delhi, Ishant Sharma. Well, we have started realizing that you have to have a fresh set of bowlers for Test cricket, One-Day cricket and T20. And that's how a plan has been done, and Indian cricket is on the top today. That's because of the entire system of A team, B team and the main team playing, led by none else than Virat Kohli and giving the experience of Mr. MS Dhoni. That's the way Indian cricket is.
Until next July, there are 2 matches. One match will be played on 25th of August. One match will be played on 16th of June. A big one. India versus Pakistan. One will be the Asia Cup. One will be the World Cup. Your predictions for the match?
Well, it's too early to predict. It's too early to predict because I don't predict on just for the sake of prediction. I only predict on the form of the tournament.
So I hope I will take Rajanji on the line at that time, and I will play this clip, and I will take his prediction when one innings will be bowled out or before the match.
I will be very happy to see the form of that day, and with a rider that cricket once again is a game of glorious uncertainties.
Rajan ji, thank you very much. It was pleasure that you came to our television, and it was pleasure that you came to my show and Match Point, and I really respect and regard that you have given us so much time.
It's always been a pleasure talking on cricket.
Yeah, thank you so much to all of the viewers who are with us. Rajan Nair ji, the guest with me, and we were igniting the memories of the international cricket. India versus Pakistan, still lot more to come. And after this tournament, we will be heading towards the Pakistan series, and then of course the Asia Cup we will be covering. You have to stay with us because that Asia Cup we will be doing right from Dubai. And in the Dubai, we will tell you the match facts about the India versus Pakistan, the big one, and this story. The big news about the rating. Team India has currently crossed Team Australia by 1 point. But for the news for the Pakistan fans, a good news, Pakistan with a 131 points despite of losing to the Aussies and making their streak little bit long, but fortunately they won later on. Pakistan is reeling on 131 points, but because of playing less matches, 26, they are on the top of the line. Team India is having more points, but Team India has played 32 matches, so that's why they are on the second slot with 126 points, and Team Australia with only 1 point, 125 after beaten up by the Aussies. They slipped to the third position, and Pakistan played a role of good neighbors, putting Team India on the front on the number 2 and Australia stepping to the number 3. Still lot more to come. You will have to tune to the E-Awaaz. You are watching Match Point. Time for me to sign off. Take care and bye-bye.